So the days are getting shorter, the temperature is dropping, and I have a big need to get rid of some of the fabrics in my stash. So in this video, I'm going to share with you what I'm planning to make over the next few months and what fabrics I'm going to make them out of. So if you want to see what made the list, then grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and keep watching. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate and this is Ripper Seams. I have indeed made plans of what I want to make over the next few months, and I'm quite excited about it because this time last year I was getting ready to go on my Australian holiday and I was madly sewing for hot weather, and the whole entire cozy sewing completely passed me by because by the time I came back and was focused back on sewing, it was ready to sew for spring and summer. So yeah, excited to try something a little bit different. So in the past few weeks I have been diligently going through all the patterns I own, ones that have been sitting on my wish list, as well as taking a look at what fabrics have been languishing in my stash and tried to marry those up to make a short list of things I really wanted to sew. And I have indeed been able to make a list, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. And a big call out here is that it is by no means an exclusive list, because I can tell you now there are definitely things going to be made over the next few months which aren't on that list, and a lot of those things contain a bit of sparkle and a bit of drama. So yeah, there'll be kind of two parallel sets of makes. So the list I'm going to share with you today is very much my core list of things I definitely want to achieve. So if my brain gets a little bit stuck and not sure what to make, I'm going to refer to this list. So without further ado, let's take a look at my first pattern choice. So first up is a pattern that has been around for a while, but I have not yet made them, and that is the Pietra pants by Closet Core. Now I think these look like a great everyday pant, especially suited for the cooler weather. Now there are a few different versions you can make with the Pietra. You can do a wide leg, you can do a tapered length, you can also do a cropped version, and if you want them really cropped, there is also an option to make them into shorts. Now this is a pattern for your woven fabrics, so ideal for cottons and linens and twills, but also for more slinkier fabrics like your rayons and your tencels. So apart from obviously the different views that we've got going on there, what I like about this pattern is that there are no specific closures going on. So you've got a flat waistband at the front and a gathered elastic waistband at the back, which yeah, I'm definitely a fan of those. And it's got some pretty interesting pocket details at the front as well. The ones I'm leaning into the most is the wide leg pant, but also the cropped version, purely because I found myself last winter and even into autumn now, I am wearing 7/8 jeans, but I would like to have something in a similar style, but not blue denim. And with that in mind, what I've pulled out of my stash to make these in is this Moroccan stone washed cotton. This was originally flagged to make a toile for the Zadie jumpsuit, but I don't think I'm going to get around to that in a hurry. I'd rather repurpose this fabric for something I want to make now. So what I love about this fabric is it is this beautiful, gorgeous deep red color, but it's also got this lovely texture on it, almost like a linen, and because it's stone washed, it is beautiful and soft and flowy as well, but it's still got a bit of weight to it. Because this color is very now, I just think this will be a really lovely alternative to denim. So the Pietra pants have been graded as being suitable for the confident beginner. So as long as I get my sizing for my waist and my hips right, I'm most likely going to have to do some grading here, but I have looked through the instructions and they do seem pretty straightforward. So yeah, I'm excited to see how these turn out. So that's make number 1 on my list. Now the next pattern I want to share with you is one that has only just come out recently, and as soon as I saw them I was really excited to try them because they've got some really nice detailing. And these are the Langston trousers by French Navy. Now I find these pants really interesting. So they are a mid-rise relaxed pant. Now it has an option to have either a button or a zip fly at the front, but I don't know how functional that's going to be because it does have an elasticated waistband at the back. So whilst they're a relaxed fit, there is quite a bit of room going down the leg, but they do taper a little bit as they get down closer to the ankle, so it has a really nice shape. Now there is some pocket details on there as well, but what I really like is more the utilitarian extra details on there. They're like a carpeted pant, so there is a strip that runs from one side of the pocket around the side of the leg, and I just quite like that. I find it interesting. I want to make them. I think this is something that will definitely level up my skill especially because there's going to be quite a bit of top stitching on there. Now, the Langston trousers have been rated as being suitable for the confident beginner, which I think is interesting given there is a fly element in there, but also this extra detailing. So yeah, interested to see how these turn out. Now, these are obviously a utilitarian pant, so woven fabrics are the choice here. So you're looking at your corduroys, twills, denims, and your linens. Now, there are no additional variations on here, so it is very much a straightforward pattern. So yeah, excited to make these. I think they're going to be really, really interesting. So that just leaves me with my fabric choice, and the one I've picked is something that's been in my stash for a good year now, and that is this lovely cinnamon colored linen. It's an enzyme washed linen, and it's got a really lovely weight. I think it's going to take the boxy detailing and the top stitching really, really nicely. I'm just going to have to pick what color thread I want to do that top stitching in. So if you've got any recommendations about what color I should do top stitching in, please let me know, put it down in the comments so I've got some different options to consider. I think it's a great color for this time of year, and because it's made out of linen, I think this will give me a lot of longevity to be able to wear this throughout the year and not just in the colder months. So those are the two pants that have made it on my list. Time to take a look at a shirt, and it's the Justine shirt by Apolline Patterns. So this is a brand new pattern for me. I kind of stumbled across it as a result of looking for something else, but I'm very glad I did because I think this shirt is stunning. Just look at the ruffles on those sleeves. Not only that, we've got a bit of a keyhole moment going on at the neckline, but still a really nice high ruffle collar to go along with it. Just some really lovely delicate detail going on there, and I'm all for it. Now, they do flag this as being suitable for the confident beginner, so whilst it does have quite a lot of detailing going on with the ruffles on the sleeves, they do say specifically that it looks a lot harder than it actually is, so I'm going to test them out with that. Now, fabric choice for this they outline as being definitely woven fabrics and something a little bit more floaty to really get that nice detail. So for me, I would very much like to make this in a very light neutral color and something that is quite floaty and drapey, so we get the drama with that crisscross ruffle on the sleeve, but on the front you'll have that really nice drape coming down, and then at the bottom you can tuck that into a pair of jeans and have a really nice belt. That's what I have in my head when I think about wearing this particular top. So I had a look in my stash to see what fabrics I had suitable. Very light neutral flowy fabrics is definitely something I don't have a lot of in my stash. At the moment, my only option is to use this cotton voile, which I picked up from Rainbow Fabrics. Now this is very light and see-through, but it does have a very light gingham effect on there. There is that really nice light floaty element to it. I think you could wear a nice camisole underneath just to give you a bit of coverage where you need it. Now I know it's autumn winter, this is quite a light fabric, but I think this is definitely a layering piece. If you can imagine this layered under a really nice knitted pullover. I'm excited about this make, so I think this fabric will look really nice. So there we go, that is the Justine shirt, something that is new to me. I think it is really, really pretty, really feminine, and it is available in both PDF and paper form, so you've got options there if you're interested. Now next up is another pattern which is relatively new for me, and one that I found just by going down a bit of a rabbit hole on Instagram. But I'm so glad I found it because I think this is also going to be a really great staple to my wardrobe. And that is the Meadow skirt by Twig and Tail. Now I think the name of the skirt is perfect for it because it does have that woodsy cottagecore vibe to it, but at the same time I think there's going to be a lot of versatility to it. And the reason for that is that there are lots of variations to this skirt. First of all, there are 4 different lengths to choose from, and you can also choose if you want the waistband to be gathered or to be pleated. There's also the option to have a tie that runs either around the back or around the front. There's a hack they provide if you want to run a button placket down the front for that extra detailing. And what I really like is there's also an option to put a knit waistband around there for anyone who has sensory problems, or you can adapt this to be a maternity skirt, which is brilliant. Another good feature about this is it's got nice deep pockets, and again, what we love is a elasticated back waistband. So definitely a very easy to wear skirt option. So fabric suggestions for this one is obviously your woven fabrics, so you can't go wrong with a cotton, a twill, or a linen here. So for me, I'm planning on making the full maxi length skirt here because I love maxi length skirts, and this one just looks stunning at that length, especially with the tie front. So with that in mind, the fabric which I do have available in my stash is this khaki stone washed linen, which has been in there for over 12 months. I had flagged for another project. I've now gone off that idea. So this is ready and waiting for something new. Now this is a bit more of a heavier weight linen than the other linen I showed you in that cinnamon color, but given it is a long maxi skirt, I think this will do quite nicely. I like the idea also of just pulling this out of my stash. I don't know if you've noticed, but all the fabrics I've showed you have all been plains. This is very unlike me, but I'm always attracted to the fun, fancy, bright colored fabrics. So I'm being very good. It's autumn, winter. I'm going in for more neutrals, more base makes, which I can then add my prints to. So yeah, I've really thought hard about making sure I'm utilizing the fabrics I've got and making sure I've got pieces which interact with each other. It's okay, I've got some prints coming, trust me. This texture on this linen is beautiful. It feels lovely because it's been stone washed already. It is just lovely and soft, so I think over time that's going to get even better. Now at the start when I was talking about the Pietra pants, I was talking about this cotton here in the red. If for some reason I talk myself out of this with the Pietra pants, I will possibly switch to making the Meadow skirt in this one here, or I might make two. So I can't see how this isn't going to be a pretty straightforward pattern. So yeah, watch this space to see which of these fabrics I end up making this skirt out from. This is going to be quite high in priority because this is a really pretty skirt. I think this will get a lot of wear. So the next pattern is a fun one because it is a print fabric and it's probably the prettiest of all the print fabrics I've got to show you today. And I'm going to be making the Arica hoodie by Styla. Styla is associated with the Little Lizard King brand, which is primarily focused on designing clothes for kids, but the Styla brand obviously focuses on women's sizing. So yes, the Arica hoodie is a fun one. Most of the hoodies in my wardrobe I've had for a long time and they're quite frankly a bit boring, and I think I can do better than that. So perfect moment to put the Arica hoodie on my makes list. Now again, this is a pattern that has lots of different versions you can make. So the first version is to have a crop length if that's what you're into, but there is obviously a relaxed fit there with a waistband which hits around hip level. But if you don't want the waistband, you can also have a bit more of a relaxed curved hem. And there's a really nice option to add a kangaroo pocket as well. Being a hoodie, this is obviously for your knit fabrics, so you're looking for your French terries, your sweatshirting, anything knit as long as you've got around a 30% stretch. So let's go into fabric choice. Now, Nerida Hansen just dropped her autumn winter release and it was huge. There were so many different options across so many fabric bases. It was a bit overwhelming and I could have jumped at so many of them, but I was good. I only ended up buying one, and that was specifically to make this hoodie with. And it is this lovely bright floral pattern here in the lovely bright pinks and purples and teals and apricots. I just thought this fabric pattern was stunning with all these flowers on it. This is the one out of all the range from Nerida Hansen that I've walked home with. I think this will look really lovely in this Arica hoodie as the main top there, but I also got some ribbing to go around the cuffs and the hem in this forest green color. So together I think this pairs quite nicely. You've got this lovely bright colorful pattern which is then grounded in this darker fabric for the cuffing, and just be a real standout piece in my wardrobe. So quite different to what I've shown so far, but at the same time bringing in these darker red maroon colors. So there is a bit of a color palette going on with my collection here. Very intentional, but this is definitely a standout piece. So yeah, excited to give the Arica hoodie a go. So the next pattern choice is a bit controversial for me because I didn't think that this particular style would suit me. But I went to Oliver Bonus recently and I tried on something similar on and I fell in love with it. But also at the same time I went, I can make this. So that's what I'm going to do. So the pattern I'm talking about is the Hovea jacket by Nielsen. So the Hovea is great because it does have 6 different ways you can make this particular jacket. So pre-quilted fabrics are going to be ideal for this particular make because there are versions which are actually quilted, but you can quilt your own. But if you are going to quilt your own version, they do suggest doing some lighter to medium weight fabrics, mainly in cottons and your linens. So lots of options here, and interesting that I have been tempted to give this one a try. Now the quilted jacket I tried on in Oliver Bonus was quite neutral colors. It was like a really nice eucalyptus green. It had some black binding on there, and then on the pockets it had that really nice complementary pink color that kind of matched that green really nicely. It was a really nice subtle make. So when I first thought about making this jacket, I was kind of wanting to emulate that. Then my brain went somewhere completely different and thought, oh, what if I made this in Liberty fabric? Wouldn't it look amazing. And yes, it would look amazing, and I would very much like to make this in Liberty fabric, but not the first time round. Ultimately, if I want to make this in Liberty fabric for both the outer and lining fabric, we're looking at 4 meters as a minimum. So yeah, that's going to be an expensive jacket. I do want to go there. I think that would be an investment if this is something that turns out nicely, but let's play it safe to start off with. So for all the options they've got available for the Hovea, I'm actually going to go for view B, which is the shorter length with the piping that goes around the edging, but then has the option to do a tie front. I think that tie front is going to be exactly what I want. I like the idea of it just having a little cinch point on there. I think having the bias binding going around the edging is just going to give a really nice contrast color on there. So yeah, quite keen to try that version. Given that I'm putting my Liberty aspirations aside, in the meantime, I thought I might go on trend, make something a bit stylish. If I did want to wear this beyond my office chair into the realms, let's go stylish and yeah, go leopard print. So a few videos ago when I made the Fleur top by Fabric Godmother, I mentioned at the end of the video that I was very tempted to make the Nell top by Tilly and the Buttons, just as a comparison in the same fabric. So I went and bought that fabric, and I bought 5 meters of it because I thought leopard print, it was a really nice colorway, which I liked. The fabric was really nice, and animal print, leopard print in particular, is considered a neutral. It goes with a lot of things and it has some longevity to it. So I thought, let's make a Hovea in leopard print. So here is the fabric I'm talking about. I think if I do the front facing piece of the Hovea in this, and I've got some black cotton lawn coming, which I'm going to use as the bias binding that runs around the edges just to give that real nice contrast color going on there. At the moment, I've got that same cotton lawn flag to be the lining because I thought if I keep it quite neutral, it will go with a lot more pieces and it will have quite a bit of longevity to it, like I mentioned before. So I thought if I just went simple, I'm probably more likely to wear it. That's my plan at the moment. However, would this not look fantastic with like a bright hot pink underneath it or some other kind of really nice, fantastic fabric? I'm tempted. Let me know what you think down in the comments if I should go big and go bold by doing something contrasting or if I should do something safe. My brain is telling me to do something safe. My heart is going, go big, go bold. While the instructions to the Hovea look to be quite straightforward. Quite excited to actually get stuck into this one. Like I said, I've been resisting it for quite a while. I didn't think it was me, but it might actually end up being. So yeah, this is my choice for the Hovea. We're going a leopard print. I will still have fabric left over to make the Nell top after I've taken what I need for the Hovea. So yeah, keep an eye out for this print coming up again in the future. So my next make is an interesting one because I've actually mentioned this in a video before, but I've never gotten around to making it. And I'm annoyed because it has been at the top of my list for ages and it just keeps getting pushed down a little bit every single time. So this time I've put it firmly in this list and I'm going to try and make it as soon as possible. And that is the Transat dress by Maison Fauve. Now, originally when I saw this dress, I got inspired by someone who I saw at work, which had a beautiful white dress with a simple black belt around it. It looked stunning. It was just a nice amount of volume on there, and that black belt just kind of really added that extra touch and elevated it really nicely. And I thought that's what I want to make. I do want to go there, but I bought this beautiful crepe fabric from Lady McElroy, which, like I said, I haven't made it yet. I don't know why. But whilst this is flagged as being more of a summer make, can't see why this can't be layered up with some tights and some boots and a nice cardigan. So yeah, I'm putting this on my autumn winter makes list because that's exactly what I'm going to do. So this beautiful dress has some really nice detailing on it. It's got a lovely V-neck on there, both front and back, enough that you're not showing off too much because we know I veered down that path quite a few times this year. Let's just keep the V-neck a little bit more simple this time. But yeah, definitely a summer make, but depending on your fabric choice, we can definitely keep this one for the cooler months. And it's designed for light to medium weight woven fabrics. So viscoses, cotton lawns, twills, crepes, all these things are going to be perfect for this. It is a very straightforward pattern. There are no variations. What you see is what you get, which is sometimes nice to have on a pattern. I have been known to get sewist remorse sometimes, going, oh, I wish I had done that instead. But when that hits, we just make a new version of it in a different fabric. But with this one, you won't have that simple design. That leaves me for my fabric choice. My fabric choice actually hasn't changed from the last time I mentioned it. I have a lovely Lady McElroy viscose crepe, which I got from Minerva. And this is what I have here. It's a beautiful creamy, almost a light biscuity brown base there with these beautiful branches and these birds. There is a pop of teal in here as well, just giving you that little bit of extra color. And I just think this fabric is stunning. I've been eyeing off this fabric for months going, isn't it beautiful? It is time to make it into the dress that it is intended for. It's a slub crepe, so there is a bit of an extra texture on here. So with the crepe fabric being a bit heavier, it's going to make a really nice dress that will transcend seasons. I can't wait to make it. I think this fabric is really, really pretty with those birds on it. So yeah, looking forward to making the Transat dress. So I've got one more pattern to show you, and it is going to be my biggest challenge out of all the lot I've shown you so far. I thought I might have a go at making my own coat. Now I have some beautiful coats in my possession which are all ready to wear. I do normally invest in a good quality coat. I'm very much like a pea coat or a military style coat that buttons up really nicely. That's my normal type of coat I like going for. Now I wouldn't normally go for a cocoon style coat. In my head I didn't think it was my style. However, I tried one on in Next one time just on a whim and I fell in love with it. It was very much a layering piece which was warm, but not one of those functional ones to keep you really, really warm because you had that openness to it. So I had this coat for years. It was great, but it eventually literally fell apart because I'd worn it so much. It got retired. So ever since I did that, I kind of feel as if I'm missing something from my outerwear wardrobe. So I want to rectify that with this last make. So I'm going to make the Cocoon coat by Sew Over It. So I think out of all the makes I've mentioned so far, this is one that is well and truly firmly cemented in the intermediate category. It's not advanced beginners, so this is one that's going to take a lot of time and attention, but I'm okay with that and I am definitely ready to take on that challenge. So this is part of the beauty of going to shows like the Knitting and Stitching show and the Stitch Festival, because back in March when I went to the Stitch Festival in London, Sew Over It had a stand there and they had not only their patterns available, but they had nearly every single one of their makes on a rail which you could go up and take a look at. You can have a proper look at the styling of it, how it's made, and really make some good educated decisions about whether that's something you might want to try. And as part of that, I picked up this lovely coat and it was the Cocoon coat. And ever since I've seen that particular make on their stand, I've had that flagged as something I definitely want to try. As I mentioned, it is an intermediate pattern, but in saying that, the most tricky part I can see on this one is actually incorporating some welt pockets on the side. There's actually no buttons, there's no closures going on with this coat. It is designed to stay open and have that layering effect. It does have a lovely stand collar that goes on there, but then it's all open from them right down to the hem. Obviously the main design feature we've got here is that cocoon shape, and I think it's just going to be a lovely cozy make, and again adding something slightly different to my current coat selection. So being a coat, this is one for your heavy woven fabrics. So we're looking at teddy fabrics, boucle, we've got boiled wool, lots of options. Anything that is that heavier weight is going to be perfect for this make. I've been on a hunt for a really nice, interesting fabric to make this cocoon coat out of. Now recently I went on their Fabric Godmother website to pick up one of their more recent designs which they've just released, and ended up not getting Fabric Godmother fabric. I ended up getting some dead stock coat fabric because they had exactly what I had in mind. It was a wool mix, so and it's more of a boucle fabric, and it's this one here. Oh, look at that. It is kind of, how do we describe this one? Colors first. We have got a cherry red in there, we've got some pink, and we've got some black. We have got almost, do I say, a Chanel type style. It is like a boucle effect going in there. It is dead stock. Fabric Godmother did mention that is definitely got some wool in there, but it's a wool mix, so I'm not 100% sure of the composition, but this feels lovely. It's going to make a lovely coat. I love the color. There's something really interesting going on with this print. Now, it does have a stripe element in there, so I will have to make sure that these black stripes line up. But yeah, this is what I ended up going for. I left the Fabric Godmother fabric behind, but I came out with this, but I'm not mad. I'm so happy I found this. I think this will definitely bring the drama I was looking for. So this is a fully lined coat, so I will need to get some lining. This is where I'm stumped. Now that I have this fabric, what lining do I put with it? Do I go for a bright pink? Do I go for a simple black? I thought there's a lot of drama on the outside. Do we want to do drama on the inside? side as well. I'm a bit stuck, so yeah, please feel free to give your suggestions down in the comments below. Let me know what color, what print, what type of lining would you match with this print. Feel free to give me some ideas. All ideas are welcome. Let me know down below. So yep, this is my fabric choice for my cocoon coat from Sew Over It. So there you have it. Those are the things I have got lined up as part of my sewing plans over the next few months. What did you think of my selection? Do let me know down in the comments below. The other thing is, if there are any particular makes you would like a more in-depth sew along type video, do let me know in the comments as well. That way I'll make sure that my cameras are set up so you can have a bit more of an immersive experience as I talk about those particular makes. I of course will be linking all the patterns I've mentioned in this video, as well as whatever fabrics are still available down in the description box below. So do take a look down there if you want to get those links. And if you want to keep tabs on my sewing progress on these particular makes, then do consider heading over to my Instagram account. I'm also Ripper Seams over there. You can also click on this QR code to get you there. So with that, we've come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for joining me today. As always, it is a pleasure having you here. So if you've liked this video, then please go and give me a thumbs up down below. And whilst you're down there, please also consider clicking on that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, as well as clicking on that notification bell. That way you won't miss out on any future Ripper Seams videos. So there's only one thing left to do, and that is to wish you a wonderful week of sewing, and I'll see you in the next video.